Welcome to a milk market tidbit for the November class and component values that USDA released yesterday. This is Dr. Lawrence Jones with Farm Institute, and I'm recording this on November 30th, the day after they were released. All right, so the base class one price for November was actually announced quite a while ago, and it was actually about 1975, and so it came up just a penny in the latest one, but for November it's going to be like 1975. And again, you're going to have a class one adder to that, whatever federal order you're in. So let's get into the ones that were just released. Class 3 was up 31 cents. It was at 17.15, up from the low in July, and again that July number was just horrible at 13.77, and off from a year ago at $20.50. Now, class 3 is made up of fat, protein, and other solids. Fat came down 25 cents, and so it's off of the high of 371, but still this is a very, very good number, and it does look like it's going to trail off into the under $3, but fat over $2 is actually a pretty good price, so fat's going to remain fairly strong relative to everything else. I threw this graph in because this is kind of a crazy graph, and today we got the fat percentage in, as part of the egg prices, and it was 4.21. I mean, that is just crazy. And look at this upward trend. The red dots are previous Octobers. We had one outlier here in 2018, but overall it's been growing at about 1.15% per year, and it came in above what we thought the seasonal number would be, because the seasonal number should have been more like 4.18. But I just went back and said, okay, in 2015, we're about 3.75% fat, and we've come up clear up to 4.21. What does that mean in today's prices? It's about $1.60 a hundredweight. And so if you're able to increase your fat along with everybody else, you're going to see a milk price of $1.60 higher than you would at 3.75. So protein prices came up a little bit. They're up 28 cents to $1.32. That's way off of that low that we had last month at $1.04. Again, that was a very low protein price, but these do seem to be pushing up, and that's assuming that cheese goes up and that butter comes down a little bit, but we've got to see if that's going to hold or not. Other solids are the one that's been driving up with the price of whey coming up. They're up 7 cents, which is a lot for other solids, up from like 12 up to 19. And these seem to be trending up because, again, everybody thinks that whey is trading up. I think it's more range bound at that 40-cent level. So we'll see if whey can, continue going up or not. Class 4 came down. That was just really high with non-fat dry milk and butter, but it came down 62 cents, and so we're at 20.87. And this is going to drop off fairly precipitously into the mid 19s, low 19s for the next 3 or 4 months. So if we look at what actually drove milk prices this month, for class 3 being up, it was all whey. It drove the price up about 37 cents. And for class 4 being down, it was all butter. Butter is the one that just really drove that down 89 cents. Non-fat dry milk made up of the difference. But the story this month was whey coming up and butter going down. So whenever we get the class and component numbers, we can look what's going to happen to the 50-50 blend. Again, it's got it coming down fairly significant here in December, which is only one more month, and then we'll have 23 all pretty well figured out. And we've been looking at $5 shave off of 2022, throughout most of the year, and that's where it's going to about end up. But again, $1.50 above where we were 2 years ago. So I always come back and ask the question, is this number in here more what we should be thinking about as normal, or are these numbers up here, which I think, by any stretch of the imagination, were abnormal? So if we look out the next 12 months, class 3 is expected to come up, but look at this premium to the spot market. So the spot market has to come up fairly significantly, because normally we're going to end up at the spot market plus 40 cents for the contracts. Now, class 4 is also headed up, and it doesn't respond to the spot market anywhere like what class 3 does. But this has me worried right now is that the futures contracts are significantly lower. In some cases, a dollar and a half, almost $2 lower than what the components are. So when you look at butter and non-fat dry milk, it should be up here, but if you look where the speculators are, they're down here. Now, it just might be that there's very little volume, so the volatility is pretty high in this. I really can't say, but seeing that difference is it's pretty stark right now. So this egg prices that we got today is the end of the major reports this week. Now next week we're going to get the dairy products report, which will finish out October, and that's my most favorite report. That ties everything together. Then we're going to get the global dairy trade on Tuesday, and another national dairy sales report on Wednesday, and then December is a 5-week month, and so it's going to take a while to settle out December here.